Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's yours truly, Jay Smooth, here to give you the official wrap up for week number 16 and, of course, the gambling preview for week 17. My co host, B Money, will be back next week, currently out on the road. But let's go ahead and just quickly run through everything from last week. Tennessee defeated San Francisco 20-17. A very close Thursday night game. San Francisco, though, with a tough loss. This is certainly not what they needed. They were streaking for a little bit, but this halted their momentum, and now they're definitely in a win-out situation. But certainly a shocking loss for them. A important win for the Titans as they're still trying to wrap up their division. And back on Saturday, on Christmas Day, the Cleveland Browns defeated the Green Bay Packers the Packers defeated the Browns 24-22. It was a very close game. I say down the stretch, but before then, it was just a disaster. Baker Mayfield threw, I believe it was 3-4 interceptions in this game, and if anything, this just keeps on, adding to the idea that Baker's just not the guy in Cleveland, and it's clear. He ran off Odell Beckham Jr., who's now having a great run with the Rams, a late run with the Rams, and Kareem Hunt showing frustration, the offense showing frustration, the defense is good, but you can tell that the defense will get gas later on in games when the offense is unable to really perform for them. So it's been tough for the Browns. They're certainly not in a good spot. As for the Packers, they pretty much wrap up their division right there, and they're going to be headed to the playoffs. And now this is a very good game. This is a game of the day on Christmas Day. The Colts defeated the Cardinals 22-16. The Colts put up a very good effort. And what was cool about their effort was they put it up against a team that was one of the better teams in the whole league. But now the Cardinals are slipping a little bit. They've lost to the Lions. Now they lose to the Colts. It's certainly not a good look for Arizona. It almost feels as if they're limping into the playoffs here. They're certainly going to be a team to look out for to see if they can turn around their bad luck. Of course, the Eagles beat up on the Giants 34-10. No surprise there. This is the beginning of the Sunday games. Of course, the Rams beat the Vikings 30-23. I mean, no surprise there. As long as you have Kirk Cousins and Zimmer as the head coach there in Minnesota, they're not going to win anything significant. The Buffalo Bills defeated the Patriots 33-21. The Bills are they're not turning it around, but they're starting to get the wins they need to at least establish themselves as somewhat of a threat. This was certainly a game where they were more than eligible to get their asses kicked, and they did not. They showed up and they showed out the way they needed to. So the Bills are certainly looking like they're getting everything together before the playoff run begins. Tampa Bay beats up on Carolina 32-6. Carolina preparing for next year while Tampa Bay prepares for the playoffs. And, of course, they're going to keep Antonio Brown because they lost Godwin for the year. They lost a couple of the people for the year. So now they're desperate, and they need people like him. Let's see. The Jaguars lose to the Jets 26-21. The Jaguars waiting for next year now that Urban Meyer has been kicked to the curb. And, of course, the Jets are trying to get whatever wins they can just to give their fans the idea that maybe they can win something next year. And then in our next game, the Falcons defeated the Lions 20-16 in a close game. Atlanta, they're not really going to do any damage or win any playoff games this year, but they certainly look like a team that maybe next year could do something. They're going to have to figure out what to do with Matt Ryan, though, because they already got rid of Julio Jones. He's in Tennessee with the Titans. But they're going to have to figure out what to do with Matt Ryan and essentially rebuild that entire team. Houston defeats the Chargers. And I would say the shocker of the day, the skull drag of the week, obviously, was Tampa Bay and Carolina. I forgot to mention that, 32-6 skull drag of the week. But this one was a close second because this was such an upset. This is definitely upset of the week. Actually, no. Skull dragging of the week is about to happen in a second. I see a score down there that's a lot more damaging than the other one. Houston puts up 49 points on the Chargers, man. And the Chargers are not looking good at all. They look like a team that at the beginning of the year was, looking like they had something. Maybe they could bring something new to the table and provide a challenge. But it seems as if the Chiefs have taken over that division and have taken over essentially complete control like they usually do. The Broncos didn't really do anything. They underachieved. The Raiders, they had too many issues. They lost John Gruden, lost Henry Ruggs, and they lost some corner they drafted in the first round because he likes to fire guns at people. So they're damaged. The Chargers were it. Chargers were the only team in that division, that AFC West division, to give the Chiefs a challenge, and now it looks like the Chargers have lost all their steam and all their power. They just don't look good right now, and honestly, that's a team I would avoid gambling on, whether it's toward the end of the season or even when it comes playoff time. I wouldn't want to put my chips on them at this point. They almost look like a broken team. And then, of course, another beatdown in Cincinnati. Cincinnati sweeps the Ravens for the first time in a long time. They beat them 41-21. The Ravens did not have Lamar Jackson or Tyler Huntley. They had to go with Josh Johnson, the third-string quarterback. They also had some other COVID issues as well, but even so, the offense for the Ravens actually did good. It was their defense. It was their decimated and broken down defense. That was the story here. Joe Burrow just abused them. He took advantage of them, and he just did whatever he wanted to do with them at that point. And it was just nonstop. The Ravens could not stop Burrow, couldn't stop Jamar Chase. They couldn't stop Mixon in the offense. Everything was just clicking for the Bengals. And don't look now, but the Bengals look like they've woken up from their little slumber there. Now the Bengal Cats, they're done hibernating, and they're ready to go on a run. So look out for them in the AFC. And now, in a game that I know Seahawks fans are pretty pissed off about, the Seahawks lose 25-24 to the Bears. What was remarkable about this game, though, is that this certainly feels like not just the game that kicked the Seahawks out of the playoffs for good, but it feels like this is an end of an era in Seattle. I mean, the Legion of Boom is long gone, but I believe the era of Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson as a quarterback head coach duo, it's coming to an end, man. And it's funny, I was talking to a good friend of mine named Teddy, who actually I'm probably going to bring on the show in the future. he's a Seahawks supporter. He knows just as well as everybody else that unfortunately, one of the more unfortunate things about the entire Seahawks situation is that they look like they were trying to build up something. They look like, they weren't going to be the Legion of Boom 2.0. They weren't going to be that, team where they had the defense and they had Marshawn Lynch there in the backfield. It wasn't going to be like that. But they look like a team that maybe could put some pieces together and maybe go on a run in about a year or two, but it's not looking good right now. They need a new coach. They need a new coordinator. They need to get Ken Norton Jr.'s ass out of there in terms of calling that defense. And they need to get Pete Carroll out of there as well. And it looks like Russell Wilson might be on the way out. Even though that would be stupid, I think the Seahawks should do everything they can to keep that man. Granted, he's not what he used to be, but he is still one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Plus, when you look at all the other options for quarterbacks out there, you might have one or two that can turn things around, like a Deshaun Watson, if he can get himself out of Houston. But even so, man, Seahawks need to rebuild themselves from the ground up. And of course, Kansas City skull drags the Steelers 36-10, and of course they beat them down so bad that Big Ben Roethlisberger said that his Monday night game next week against the Browns will be his last game at Heinz Field, which means it'll be his last game in Steeler country and his last game probably in the NFL, judging by the way he's playing. He said his last game at Heinz Field. He's saying that as if another team will pick him up, but let's be honest. If he's picked up by another team, that man will last maybe 3-4 games before Big Ben is hurt, crying, and starting another retirement tour. The Raiders beat the Broncos 17-13 with all their issues. Little divisional matchup there. Nothing too much to see. Both these teams are preparing for their future. Teddy Bridgewater did get knocked the hell out in this game, though. And Teddy, it sucks for him, man. Concussions, leg injuries that nearly derailed his career and his life. Almost had his leg amputated by that injury. Just crazy story for Teddy, man. He's one hell of a warrior, but yeah, he got punished in this game. And then, in the true skull drag of the week, and I hate to do it. I really do. But The Dallas Cowboys just they skull dragged and curb stomped the Washington football team 56-14 in Jerry's world. And let me tell you folks, not only are the Cowboys going to the playoffs, they officially look like the scariest team I would say coming out of the NFC right about now. Other than the Green Bay Packers, the Cowboys look like a team that's ready to go on a run. Obviously Washington, they're going to prepare for next year. They went on that little 3-4 game winning streak, and they had, they had some people thinking that, maybe they could do something. I thought maybe they were going to do something, but I should mention they had a COVID issue the week before with the Eagles. Now they have this with Dallas. It seems as if the Washington football team's forever cursed, because if they were to lose those games that they had won, they would have better draft position. But now, they find themselves in a situation where once again they're going to have to pick middle of the pack. It's almost like purgatory now. They definitely need a quarterback though. Taylor Heineke was good for this season. He was a good backup for the playoff game against Tampa. He got his revenge against Tampa this year. But it's clear that Washington needs a long-term answer at quarterback. They're probably going to have to reach for one in the draft. The problem is this year's draft class is trash when it comes to quarterbacks. So unfortunately, they're going to be picking from a trash heap, and they're just going to have to hope and pray and be a little delusional about dude's progress for a while. But at least Washington knows what they need to do in order to get their shit together. But yeah, Washington, they're done. Dallas, they're playoff bound. Monday night, Tua and the Dolphins beat up on Timmy Tebow 2.0. Taysom Hill and the Saints 20-3. Taysom actually didn't even play. They had a rookie quarterback named Ian Book from Notre Dame make his debut, and boy, Ian Book looked like trash because that defense was reading all of the pages in that man's book. They read everything, every call, every snap, every play. They shut down the Saints from just play number one, man. It was ugly for them. But let's get to Week 17 now that we've wrapped up Week 16. Gambling style, folks. Let's start today at 1 o'clock, the Raiders and Colts. The Colts are the -8 favorite. I am taking the Colts, man. I'm putting the Colts down as my pick. Let's see, the Bears and Giants. Give me the Bears at -6. That's all day, every day. Buccaneers and Jets. Give me the Buccaneers -13.5. Falcons and Bills. Give me the Bills -14.5. I mean, these top games are pretty easy. Eagles and football team. Give me the Eagles -4.5. The football team is shot and they're ready for next year. Now this is interesting. The Bengals and the Chiefs. I want to go Chiefs here, but I like that Bengals line at +3.5. They're playing good ball. And, the Chiefs, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs try to rest some of their stars. They're already in the playoffs. They've already lost Clyde Edwards-Helaire, their starting running back. I wouldn't be shocked if they were to try to go have a little more conservative approach in this game. But if they want to go all out, might be risky. Give me the Bengals +3.5. I'll gladly go on it. Money line, though, a bit risky, but the spread itself, I'll take it. Jaguars, Patriots. Give me the Patriots -16.5. Too easy. Dolphins and Titans. I like the Titans a lot. I like what the Dolphins did on offense. However, the Dolphins played a shorthanded Saints team last week. Not all that impressed. Impressed by the win, but not impressed by them playing a shorthanded Saints team. So give me the Titans -3 against the Dolphins. We have now the Rams and the Ravens. Oh boy. Give me the Rams -6. I got to do it. Ravens have been terrible. Terrible on the spread all year long. Let's see, Broncos, Chargers. Chargers -7.5 sounds about right. It's funny, I'm not going to bet the Chargers. I want to. I really want to. They're going to win this game, though, because the Broncos are shorthanded. No Bridgewater. Drew Lock is awful as a quarterback, and the rest of that squad, they pretty much are waiting for next year. They got to rebuild for next year. So give me the Chargers here in a bounce back. But betting wise, I'm not gonna touch the Chargers, man. At least, yeah, I'm not gonna touch them. At least not till next season. Next season, I'll look at them again. 49ers, give me -12 over the Texans. That is easy for the 49ers at home. Cardinals, Cowboys. You know what? Give me the Cardinals on the road plus 6.5. They need this win just to kind of get their momentum and get their heads right. And the Cowboys are looking good, but they're already in the playoffs at this point. They don't have too much to play for, so give me the Cardinals at plus 6.5. Another underdog one. Bengals and Cardinals looking like the underdog picks of the week for me so far. Saints and Panthers. Yeah, give me the Saints minus 6.5, man. I think this is the week they bounce back. They get some people back from the COVID list, so they should be good to go. Lions and Seahawks. Give me, you know what? The Seahawks are shot, but I don't believe they are. But you know what? Dan Campbell is not ready to quit. Dan Campbell is not ready to quit, where it looks like the Seahawks are ready to quit. I don't want to bet Detroit because it's Detroit. You know what? I'm gonna do it though. Give me Detroit plus 7.5. That's one of those approach it with caution type of picks. I'm gonna pick Seattle to win the game, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick Detroit to cover that 7.5. I think Detroit can cover 7.5 and make it a close game. The Vikings and Packers. The Vikings don't have Kirk Cousins. They're not even gonna play Kellen Mond. They're playing some bum from the practice squad, I believe. And, the Packers are going to steamroll them probably by like 40 points. I don't even know why it's a night game. Why would they have this be the Sunday night game? Like, they may as well flex it out of that spot because the Packers are just going to beat the shit out of them. And then the Browns Steelers on Monday night, last Monday night game of the year. Give me, this is tough. I want to go Browns. But the Steelers are broken. Browns are broken too, though. It's two broken teams here. But you know what? That Steelers team is cooked. Give me the Browns on the road minus 3.5. Browns on the road minus 3.5. So to recap my picks. Browns minus 3.5. Packers minus 13. I'm going to go Detroit plus 7.5. Let's see. I'm going to go New Orleans minus 6.5. We're going to go Arizona Cardinals plus 6.5. We're going to go Texans 49ers minus 12.5. We're going to go Chargers minus 7.5. I'm not going to bet it, though. Rams minus 6. Titans minus 3. New England minus 16.5. The Bengals plus 3.5 at home for an upset. We're going to go Eagles minus 4.5. Buffalo Bills minus 14.5. Buccaneers minus 13.5. We're going to go Bears minus 6 at home. And then, of course, in the first 1 o'clock game, we're going to go Colts minus 8. So those are the picks for Week 17. I hope you all have a good week of gambling. It is yours truly, Jay Smooth here. My co-host B Money will be back next week as we wrap up Week 17 and, of course, preview the final regular season, the final week of the 2021 to 2022 NFL regular season. Usually Week 17 is the final week, but no, Week 18 is the final week. We got one extra week of football before the playoffs, so definitely enjoy it, folks. Enjoy yourselves. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. I hope the rest of you that celebrate other holidays enjoyed the holidays with loved ones, friends, family, and people that care about you and love you. I certainly look forward to bringing you guys a lot more entertainment and a lot more coverage of the league throughout 2022. I'm certainly looking to branch into other sports as well this year, so be on the lookout for that. Of course, folks, always make sure you subscribe to my main channel, Rush Hour MMA, if you are a fight fan. We cover all the big fight nights over there, from UFC to boxing, kickboxing, whatever big fights under any rule set you can think of. And yes, we even do the celebrity fights like the Jake Pauls and whatnot. But yes, folks, definitely sub over there. I will see you all next week. And until then, I'm gone.